All right, so I just took the Camaro for a nice test drive and a little bit of a cruise, put some miles on it. Basically, just to check everything over, get some miles on that rear end. We did the ring and pinion and some bearings back there, so I wanted to make sure we just get some nice easy miles on it, make sure it all sounds good, which that sounded absolutely perfect. Honestly, the quietest it's been in a very, very long time. Yeah, everything drove around well. We got the new front pads on it, the new rear brakes on it. So I was trying to seat the brakes in, just run them through a few heat cycles. All that's feeling really good. Checked the tranny fluid, and then I went ahead and put it up on the trans rake to check our dump valve, see how that's working. So far, everything's working flawless. It's a nice cool day. It's only about 55, somewhere between 55 and 60 degrees. And built 10 pounds of boost on the brake right now. So definitely seems like the dump valve's working, but it is also a cooler day, so that helps as well. But no, that all worked great. Got some nice miles on it. Honestly, it's driving around perfect. I'm really happy with the way it's driving around right now. Seems like our air dam's working pretty well. We stayed around right around 175 temp the whole time, so that's perfect. Another thing I did is I adjusted the ride height a little bit, and then I adjusted the bump steer a little bit. So with that, I just used toe boards and reset the toe. All that seems really good as well. The alignment was nice and straight, wasn't pulling in any directions. But that's one thing I've always fought a little bit is the bump steer on this. And I'll show you guys that and show you what I did. If you look those spacers, see if I can get closer if you can see a little easier. These spacers right here adjust your bump steer. So more spacers are going to move this tie rod down, less is going to move it up. What I went ahead and did is I added this second spacer here to bring it down lower, to keep it more on the line of our lower control arm. And that's what you want, is this line or this angle. You want this tie rod to follow that same angle. And we are really close now. If anything, it could go down just a little more, but this is the maximum I could go with this bolt length. I just have about one thread sticking out this bolt, so seems to be working really well. It's always been a bit of a battle, and I've gone back and forth with a bunch of different spacer options, but I do feel like I've got it the closest that I've ever had it there. And yeah, real happy with the drive. Got into boost really one time. I kind of rolled into it a little bit, and then actually got into boost the second time, and it made right around 18 pounds, and our LED lit up, so I know that our second speed activated, so our hop switch is all working, and air fuel looked perfect. So far so good. Everything's looking, sounding, working like it should. This is that hob switch I was talking about. If you haven't seen it in the other videos, when we see boost, that's going to activate the high speed on our Aeromotive 7-gallon a minute pump. So that all worked perfect. I readjusted fuel pressure a little bit after the drive. Just wanted to get some miles on it. Radio's working good. That was another thing, is we added this antenna since we deleted that antenna. That's working really, really good. That's probably about the best the radios came in reception-wise in a long time. So yeah, I kind of just had a lot of things we were checking over on the drive, just seeing how everything's going to work, and so far so good. I definitely want to get a few more heat cycles in the brakes, just so I can really tell kind of proportioning valve adjustment-wise, just to make sure it's doing what it should there. But as far as a first drive in 2021, I don't think I could expect it to go any better. Everything seems good. My next step is I'm going to jack it up, look underneath it, make sure we don't have any leaks. There's definitely nothing obvious, but I like to go to the next step and kind of get underneath the car and just look everything over really well, make sure there's nothing else. But so far so good. I'm pretty darn happy with the way that went. Yeah, honestly, it felt about the best that I can remember it driving around. I think just the combination of the alignment, having the rear end quiet like it should be, and the new brakes, just kind of everything really came together. It seems to be driving around really, really well. And then the mirrors, honestly, that's a huge help. That's one thing that made me feel a lot better, is getting the mirrors back on it where I can see. I've always had the one in the middle there in the inside of the car, but having these outside mirrors, man, I do not want to drive around with no outside mirrors. That's so annoying. So having those on was a huge help. Yeah, I think that'll be it for this video. Just wanted to give you guys an update, let you guys know where we're at with the car, how it was running, how it performed on our initial shakedown, and honestly, everything went perfect. So super, super happy with that. Like I said, we'll check some things over and go from there. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep it saucy.